Do you have a gardener on your shopping list? I have suggestions for last-minute ideas that you can get really useful tools that any gardener will appreciate. First, we have a pair of Cobra Head weeding tools, shaped as you might expect, a bit like a cobra about to strike. They'll help pull weeds out of the garden. And there's a short one and a really long one here. The blades easily cut underneath the weeds, and the long one can be used to make garden furrows and dig small holes for small plants. They work between your good plants. The single blade lets you get into really small spaces there, and the long one lets you get on little small weeds that wouldn't be worth bending over to pull out by hand. A lot of gardeners have trouble bending at the knees, so this is a great tool. And the short one works really well if you're sitting or kneeling. The handle is recycled plastic, the blades are tempered steel. They really work well. I use this one to pull the mud out of the cracks in there, the soles of my boots, without having to bend over. And the long one comes in 3 lengths for different heights of workers. The curvature of the blade is different because of the different angles they're going to be used. Check them out at cobrahead.com. A lot of garden centers actually stock them. The next one is from Fiskars. They make an all-round garden tool that you'll find more uses for than you think of at first glance. It's the take-apart garden shears, are what they're called. They're good for cutting weed barrier cloth or string, just like a scissors, but they can also be used for pruning. They're good for indoor pruning of houseplants that often go neglected, or for larger plants like roses. They have a nice little notch here that really grabs hold and can be used for larger plants. You can cut small roots out of the holes that you're digging for bulbs and annuals, get down into smaller spaces like that. Don't worry if they get clogged up with mud. The hardened stainless steel blades quickly come apart for cleaning, and they easily go back together again, back precisely where they were. They're really good for grabbing anything that you need to cut. They're both left and right-handed, and they're covered with a lifetime warranty. The garden hat can really help in the summertime. It can protect you from the sun's rays, and it can keep you cooler. And this one has a 3-inch brim. It's from the Wallaroo Company, and it's recommended by the Skin Cancer Foundation. It's rated for SPF 50 or higher. They have hats for men, women, and children. This is my second one. The first one lasted over 10 years, and they float in water if it comes off that way. And the brim catches the wind, and I found that the strap was necessary for windy days. Check out the different styles at wallaroohats.com. Pot lifter sounds like it might be illegal in some states, but it can be a very handy garden tool. It comes with a nice little cloth bag here. It's got 2 handles, it's got 2 straps, and then 2 plastic gripping areas in the middle. So, got a handle here, and 2 gripping handles. So you put this on either side of a flower pot or a log or a rock or a pumpkin or a root ball, anything that 2 people would want to pick up. It does easily come apart so that you can go around an object, and then 2 people, 1 handle on each side, can lift it up. It works really well. My mom and dad were moving to a new house, and my mom has some 40-year-old plants that are in huge pots, and we were able to lift them up, carry them around very easily. A few of them are on wheels, but we had to go down and upstairs, and we had to get them into the back of a pickup truck. So worked really well. This has been a lifesaver many times on heavy pots. And like I said, firewood, all kinds of things can be used, lifted up with the pot lifter. Small hand tools or shovels are useful for digging and weeding in the garden. This is the old style, and I have to describe something for you. So if I stick out my hand like this, my arm and my hand are straight. If I go down like this is called the ulnar deviation position. This is the ulnar bone down here. The hand is deviating towards the ulnar. Now, a lot of people have that problem through arthritis and all kinds of other different ways. I don't know all of them, and I don't know how to fix it, but I do know that that's what it's called. Now, for gardeners, that can be a problem because the shovel like this forces you to use it in that ulnar deviation position. The Radius Tool Company has round handles on their small little shovels like this, and so I can grip it and go straight all the way down and not have the problem. So if I put my two hands out like this, you say, oh, you can do that, but to dig, this hand has to go down. This one doesn't, it's in line. And so if I were to put the blades there, you can see that my thumbs, even if I do this, this hand is in that ulnar deviation position just to even hold it and work with. So if I try to fix that, I'm going to have a wrist problem. So this is an excellent small tool. I use it for a lot of different things. It actually has some concrete cement stuck to it. I've used it for small mixing things. I've used it in a lot of different ways. It has several different measurement dots here so you can figure out how deep you're going. It's a really nice tool. The bright green does hide in the grass a little bit sometimes, but they do have red and other colors. And the handle stays cool in the summer and warm in the winter. It's really nice. They also have round-handled spades and shovels. They have several different varieties. I have used this one for longer than 10 years. It's a stainless steel blade, so I've never even had to sharpen it. If you have a diamond file, you can actually sharpen this, but it's still got a nice sharp edge to it. And like I said, I've used this thing for 10 years. I've used it a lot. It really works well. And you'd be surprised at how much better it is to be able to use the shovel with the round handle than it is the handle going the wrong direction. And then it's just a better shovel. Now I'm calling it a shovel. It's a spade. Nobody calls spades. They just it's just a shovel. So. But a shovel typically has a point on the end and a bowl kind of shape to the blade, whereas the spades are typically flatter on the end and not as much of a bowl shape here. Shovels are good for loose stuff and moving it around. The spade is good for digging holes cleanly and making bed edging and stuff like that. So if you're going to be gardening for a while, I highly recommend it. It's also not only stainless steel here, but a carbon steel through the center here. Again, the plastic wrap on the outside makes it cool in the summer and warm in the cooler weather in the fall. And it's just durable and sturdy. It's a little heavy, but that's because it's strong and durable. The Dramm Company has some of the best garden hoses and watering wands. They have short pistol grip ones. They have long-handled watering wands. I really like this telescopic watering wand. It lets me reach across the planted shelves of my greenhouse and reach the higher hanging baskets. It's very useful. It has a whole bunch of different settings, and so I can do light rain for the plant, but then I can put it onto a much stronger spray to spray under the car and get the slush off in the wintertime. And being so long, I don't have to worry about it splashing back in my face. So I really like it for gardening and for washing the car, even in the wintertime. But one of the best things that Dramm makes is this watering timer. Connects to the faucet, garden hose connects to it, and then you turn it, and I don't know if you can hear the tick, tick, tick. It's an egg timer style of timer. It doesn't use batteries, and it's very durable, and I use it all the time. I have, when I've not used one of these, overflowed my water garden pond. I've let other things run way too long because I think I'm going to remember, they're going to let this go for a half hour, and then 2 hours later, oh, is it a half hour yet? So This thing, you can set it for any time for 2 hours. You can actually set it for a continuous on in a different position there, but it really works well. It saved me a lot of time, and I'm sure it saved me a lot of water. So I definitely recommend the Dramm water timer. They have a bunch of different colors, and I think you're going to like this one a lot. You won't believe how useful a magnifying glass is until you start carrying one around. The folding 10x jeweler's loupe fits in your pocket. You just fold it up and it's just this little small thing. It's the way it's always available. It's especially useful for getting splinters out, and gardeners will find that to be useful. You can also use it to identify small insects and spider mites and that kind of stuff. And then there are plenty of tiny flowers that would go unnoticed if you didn't have a magnifying glass. So I've carried magnifying glass like this around for more than 20 years, and I find it to be very useful, probably once a week at least, but it's definitely an easy stocking stuffer kind of thing that you can buy for your gardener or anybody else in your family. I have found the miracle solution to save my marriage. Muck boots. Specifically the Muckster 2 ankle boot. If I'm wearing boots with laces while working in the garden, I don't want to take them off every time I come in the house. So a little bit of dirt will fall off onto the tile kitchen floor. For some reason, that isn't a good idea. This comfortable boot slips on and is easy to kick off when I come inside. I leave them by the back door. I slip them on every time I'm headed to the garden. They're waterproof. They have a neoprene lining that is warm in cool weather and cool in the summer. There's an air mesh lining that gives the boots breathability that prevents them from collecting sweat during the summer. My feet stay dry even when working around the edge of my water garden, and a little bit of water over them. And it also keeps my feet dry when I'm just shoveling slushy snow. When necessary, they're easy to wash off. I've repaired the sole with shoe goo a couple times. A pair of Mucksters last me about 7 or 8 years, and I'm about to order my 3rd pair. My Mucksters are now part of my standard garden apparel. The Muck Boot Company makes sandals, shoes, and boots for men, women, and kids. There are boots for every kind of outdoor activity and any weather condition. And they're available in different stores and at muckbootcompany.com. These have been some of my favorite garden tools. Do you have other tools that you love? Let us know in the comments. And this is Jeff with a Greener View. Thanks for watching.